Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
I'm waiting for finger guns. There's the finger guns. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 327 for October 24th, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Trevor.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I am another one of your hosts, Adriel.
Wow. And everyone else is a slacker and hates you, but we don't. That's why we're here week after week. Like, except I wasn't here last week.
There's the finger gun.
Shoot.
Oh, Kelly, you forgot to turn your volume down.
Okay, that's not supposed
Kelly,
to work.
you ruined 327.
I had my sound off.
Trevor.
Obviously not.
Trevor.
I was okay.
Adriel.
Never mind.
So, pro tip, Kelly, and I know you're new at
Shush, shush.
podcasting.
Adriel.
You mute
You
your
don't,
mic,
that's why.
then you turn on your YouTube
don't.
stream, then you turn on the volume, then you unmute your mic.
Trevor?
I love you. Oh, there she goes. All right, back to the show. Let's get.
We were
jump-
here the whole time.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the script then, shall we?
Yeah, we have one of those.
Yeah. And
I'm
Patreonies.
back.
We have a Patreon episode coming up tonight. So as soon as we're done with this gibberish, you'll get the quality stuff that you pay for. And thank you once again for that. So what we did.
Gibberish too.
I'm sorry. What?
Nothing.
You thought that was gibberish? They've we did have Ginger Snaps on once, which was a little gibberishy. So imagine his emails in Patreon form, and they paid for it.
In real life. With
And
no
we're
editing.
sorry. Yeah, and you know what? He sent an email. Kelly, there is an email.
Yeah, there is an email, but we read it last week.
No, he sent one this afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
can you
well,
dig that up, put that in? And I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
he did because I totally forgot about this situation. And he said it too. He's like, I sent that email because I was afraid you'd forget or to remind you. So
It's a situation?
it's a situation, yeah.
Ooh.
Is it like
I
Jersey
don't know
Shore?
if it's like no, it's not really Jersey Shores because it happened at a 3-gun match.
Laundry and tanning? Never mind, go ahead.
I would
It's a
say it's
3-gun.
karma. I would say it's karma, but he's never really done anything to me. If anything, it should be the other way. But anyway, something happened. We'll discuss, and then we'll talk
Okay.
about ourselves. All right.
All right.
What we did this week in guns is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. And this week they have the Benelli M4A1. So you all know the Benelli M4. It's that cool pistol grip shotgun. It's gas operated. It's a really badass shotgun. Well, this is the A1 version, and it seems to be somewhat updated. The furniture's changed a little bit. 18.5-inch barrel, 3-inch chamber, semi-automatic, and they have it on for $2,539, which is less than what the original one used to be. So I don't think Benelli's feeling pressure from Turkey. Do you? Like,
A little bit.
you think
No.
so? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
none
think so.
whatsoever.
It's right. It's Benelli, and the Americans aren't getting in the Turkey guns. So
Where's this M4A1? I'm looking for this thing to try to find more information on it. I can't find anything.
okay, go to CGN and click on the link, which will take you over to the Calgary Shooting website and right to that particular item. At the bottom of the CGN post, it says "click here" or whatever, and it'll take you there. So
Yeah, I
You-
am.
you-
I'm making
you do
it
that.
over there.
Put the link in.
New Benelli M4.
right.
I'm going to pull it up for everyone so that they can see it.
Oh yes, there you go. Pull it out so everyone can see, Adriel.
Benelli M4 is a semi-automatic shotgun. It doesn't say it's the A1. Where's the... Maybe that's what they call it. Oh, there we go. A1. Yep.
Yeah,
What's
I feel like
changed?
you're questioning me or something like
No,
that.
I want to know. I want to know all about it.
We
and
wanna
know
have a
what
look at it.
changed.
Because all you just did was type it in.
Ah, the foreend's different. They got
Yep.
some. Is that key mod?
That's it.
No.
Change the furniture.
Yeah. M-lock.
Adriel, do you want to do it on screen?
I am doing it on screen, just so you guys can't see it.
Yeah,
so
we can't see it, but the
Oh.
YouTubers.
Well, fantastic.
I got way too many
are seeing
things
it.
to
Yep.
control here. Wait, I can paste it in the show notes. There we go. Now you can.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
It looks like it's got an
Yeah.
extended bolt release button. It looks like the forend is different. It looks like it's got some cutie sling swivels on there on the fore end.
Fore end is definitely different. The shape and style of the stock is different.
Yes. But it's still got that twist lock, weird, roddy thing that's going on.
Yeah. Which I find the gun feels a little balanced funny. You know, I don't know if they put a bit more weight back there, if it would help balance it out better, maybe, or maybe it's just me. Anyway,
cool.
It's got a little bit of Benelli styling, though.
Yeah. Adopted by the military. Yep. It's been used in theater. It's quite the platform. So go on over and check that out. You get a really excellent. I mean, it's Benelli. What else can we say? It's Benelli, and it's only $2,500. So yeah. Okay. So I will go ahead and jump into what I did because I've got 2 weeks worth to cover.
Oh God.
Yeah. Excuse me. So
and you did a lot too.
Yeah, exactly. Last weekend, I went to a level 2 match on Saturday in Thomaston Quarter. This is the one that Larry was going to cancel, but the boys stepped up, and and shout out to Mark Manderson. He was the one that said, "No, Larry won't cancel on our watch." And guess who was the first one on the range to help set up? Mark Manderson. So awesome. Unfortunately, I got to town late and wasn't able to help, but the rest of the Losers Club were on site and did a fantastic job. After the match, we went to the gun dealer, and I love the gun dealer. They got all kinds of new stuff, but they get in some used stuff and some secondhand stuff once in a while. You never know what you're going to find. So, of course, I was immediately looking for Cooeys. Couldn't found one, but wasn't really what I was looking for. I was, I wanted to get some 84s and stuff. But anyway, what I did find, and this is thanks to George McKillop, active shotgun hulls. These were made back in the 90s. They're red. They're all plastic. Even the rim, everything is plastic. And they feed really, really well in my semi-autos. They take special wads typically. And the reloading data is a little hard to come by. But Captain Andy had hooked me up with some reloading data for them, and George found 3 bags of these active hulls. Well, you should have seen me. I was I was almost humping his leg. Like, come on, George, you don't need all 3 bags, George. Come on, George. Anyway, he took pity on me and gave me one of the bags, and then I looked up some data, and they had wads there that worked with the data, and so we bought some wads as well. And
where is he located, the gun dealer?
He is in Macadam, so that's almost at the U.S. border. Turkey's crossing there quite a bit and stuff. It's pretty awesome. 511 shirts, button-up shirts, long sleeve, kind of tactical, good range shirt. Regular $75 on for $20. Yeah, so George grabbed a couple. I grabbed one. I think Filthy grabbed one. That's pretty good. Nice little find there. And then the next day I went to I shot a Production Optics, right?
Yeah.
Because of my upcoming announcement here and this new thing that's happening.
How'd you do?
I won, but I mean, there wasn't a lot of heat. Our provincial champion wasn't there. But anyway, it was a learning experience for me, I got to tell you. Learning to shoot Production Optics is going to be, I'm on a learning curve. It's not going to be terribly steep, but making sure I get that dot in the same place every time, stuff like that is going to be, I got to learn stuff all over again. So I did 2 matches in Production Optics. I did one at Thomaston Corner on Saturday, and then Sunday morning I got up and drove to the Miramichi for the last IPSC New Brunswick outdoor match of the season, and I shot Production Optics there as well. I suffered, man. It was a rough match. A lot of more mics than I wanted, and shooting slow sometimes, trying to get the dot.
Just tired from match day the day before, or drinking, or
no, that's coming though. We're gonna that was this past weekend. I don't remember if we drank too much at Filthy's. I'm sure we drank something, but anyway, no, just I've been gone every weekend since I can remember. And currently every weekend in November is booked as well. So
really,
yeah,
wow,
yeah. I think I'm going to give a couple of things up though. I might give up the bow hunting trip. We actually ended up with I got a Cape Breton trip now booked as well. So
what do you do in Cape Breton?
There is a IPSC shooter from Cape Breton, Grant, who has the Iron Cabins and a pub. and the iron cabins are off grid. Everything is self-sustained. So he's invited me to go stay at the cabin, check out his place. Plus, he's got a pub, which is also off the grid, self-sustaining. A lot of microbrewery stuff like that. And Kelly, he runs the forge.
So why haven't we been to this place yet?
I don't know. It's new, so
Okay. Well,
maybe we'll have a maple seed there.
Cape Breton. We have to go to Cape Breton next year.
It's
So
on the list now, just like that. That's how these things
fantastic.
happen. Yeah. So,
Okay.
And then I should grab it. Yeah, I should grab it because it's like a show and tell type show, right? So I changed the scope on my Stag 10.
Let's see it.
So my Stag 10 originally had a Vortex Viper HST 4-16, and this was at the shop, and now it's not at the shop. Now it's in my possession. This is a Vortex Viper PST Gen 2 5 to 25 by 55.
That's
nice.
pretty.
Too nice.
That's
For
a lot.
Stag 10.
For Stag 10, yeah, it's a lot of glass for this rifle.
What do you?
Yes, it
How
is.
far are you going to shoot that thing? 100
As
meters?
far as I can.
That's
100
some nice
meters.
glass. That's some nice glass.
You've got glass envy. I can tell. It's
Yeah,
got
it does. Actually, it does. So
the reticle is illuminated, and it shuts off in between every 2 clicks. So
I don't
you're
know. I
on or
remember
off.
how you are always saying how poor you are.
I don't remember saying that.
we have optics envy right now.
Yeah. Well,
Did you get it a good deal though?
I got it at a good deal.
Okay, so you were saving money.
Yeah. I got it at a fantastic deal.
Good. All right.
Yeah. So, but if I had to do it over, I wouldn't have bought this. I would have bought one of the Troy 102s that came on sale at SFRC recently.
SFRC for 18% off.
Yeah. But no, this made sense because I got the more modern sporter coming, right?
Yep.
So the optic that was on this, the 4-16 by 44 Vortex Viper HST, is going to go on the modern sporter.
Mhm.
And found out today while I was working at the shop that my 7.62 by 40 WT barrel from IBI is ready to be shipped.
Yeah.
How exciting. So the other thing I did to this rifle,
What did
along
you do?
with, I put in a Geisley. Yeah. The factory trigger was obviously junk. So now it's nothing crazy. It's a Geisley 2-stage. Right,
Yeah.
It's a hunting rifle, so I don't mind having a 2-stage trigger on a hunting rifle. So,
It's a hunting rifle with a. Never mind. Just okay. Go ahead.
Kelly, it goes down to
It's a
4
hunting-
power.
It's a hunting rifle with a big bad piece of glass on top.
Yeah, and a Geisley trigger.
A Geisley
and
trigger.
Yeah, and a bad lever. And
What's the
extended charging
weight?
handle.
What's the overall weight of that hunting rifle?
What do you think? Take a guess. I weighed it last night.
I bet
With the optic on it?
scope,
Yes, optic, no mag.
8-9 pounds. 9 pounds.
Keep going. Come on.
I
it's
say
a Stag
12.
10. Very good, Kelly. It's just over 11.
I was trying to be nice.
I won't be. Listen, I won't put my gun on keto if you call it fat. I'm just saying.
Your gun's fat for a hunting rifle, but it'll still work.
It'll
Of
work.
course, yeah. I'm not going to run and gun with it. Now, Casey, so me and Captain Andy and Casey all started our Stag projects. Actually, I think those buggers didn't tell me, and they got their Stag receivers in before I did. Casey went full-on baller, carbon fiber, everything, pencil barrel. He's got one of those comps that looks like a toilet paper tube at the end of the barrel that goes straight out. Like, oh my God, it's going to be ridiculous. Anyway, I bet you his is in the 9-pound range. So, but as you guys remember, I changed the scope on my SLR, and then I put in a lightweight bow carrier group. That rifle, got an 18.6-inch barrel. So that's a full, as far as rifles go in an AR style platform, that thing is just over 7 pounds now. And
that's good. 7 pounds is really nice.
Really nice for a full-size rifle. Heck yeah. And I'm taking off that handguard. That handguard's going to go on my modern sporter for my...
Oh, the new handguard that you ordered. You're
Right.
going to be putting it on there.
Yeah, so that's going to get shipped on Monday. So that handguard it's going to go from 15-inch to 17-inch, and instead of weighing 11.11 ounces, it's going to weigh 8.4 ounces.
Right, because it's carbon fiber.
Yeah, so I had the Stag 10 out, and I tested some loads in it, and yeah, I'm trying to make some bulk ammo with
Yeah.
Campro 147 grain bullets.
Mhm.
This barrel did not like them. I could not get under 2 inches, and so I talked to Ryan. He's like, "Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put 147 grain down that barrel. It's got a 1 in 10 twist, man. What are you doing?" So I was like, "Okay, Ryan, I want you to tell me what bullet, what case, what primer. You already told me what primer. I already bought them. What powder? I already bought the powder. Give me a recipe. I'm going to test them." Ryan's like, "Do me a favor. Go buy some factory Federal Gold Metal Match, because that's what we test the guns with. And if that gun doesn't shoot an inch, we're going to take care of you." So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to, just to make sure that the gun is tickety-boo. I'm going to put some factory ammo through it. And then I already have a ton of Federal Gold Metal Match brass, because the RCMP, that's what they shoot. They shoot Federal Gold Metal Match. And the last time they qualified at the range with their 308s, I got all the brass. I mean, I got a lot of it. So that's going to be, and then I'll get the Sierra Match King bullet.
Federal 308 brass. I hate it so much. It's
And
so
why is
soft.
that? Oh, you find it soft?
Yeah,
Winchester's
I shoot a couple loads through it, and the primer pockets
It's done.
Yeah, they're way too soft.
Oh, really? Because I've been uniforming these primer pockets. If that's the case, if it's one and done, I might stop. So,
Well, shoot
yeah.
them. See what you find out.
Yeah. And I'm not going to, I've got I'm stopping to do that thing where I'm like, well, I got 1,000 pieces. I might as well uniform all of them before I do any testing. No, no, not anymore. What else did I do? Oh, I got another show and tell. Oh, I sighted in the same day I sighted in there, went to test some loads in this. I brought my Howa 22-250 to the range, and I sighted it in, shot it for the first time. And I just picked up a cheap box of Winchester white box, 45 grain. I think it was 40. Anyway, I don't know.
40 grain.
40 grain, 22-250, and sighted in with that. I'm happy with it. It shot what it was supposed to. And then I picked up, hold on, another visual here, show and tell. It's like it's a gun show. Hold on.
You think he would be prepared for those?
He's literally in the room with his guns.
Yeah.
All he needs to do is pick a couple. Just be like, this one, this one,
This one.
this one maybe.
Oh, and this one.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm already
What
writing the
now?
notes down. Might as well take them out as well.
Are you done?
We're making fun of you.
I know you are. That's why I said
Yeah.
you're done. This one
No.
I'm really excited about. So this is a Howa mini action in 223. So it's
Nice.
the Howa Model 1500 action. What I really love about this one, Kelly, it's got a 1 in 8 twist barrel.
Oh.
So my other 223 hunting rifle had a 1 in 12, and
Oh,
I tried.
no.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a
Yeah.
varmint rifle, and you know what?
Still,
I know, dude.
12.
I know. But you know what I didn't know? When I was
What didn't you
36
know?
I was 36 years old. I bought this rifle, my first brand new rifle ever. I bought it when long guns were still registered, for crying out loud. That's how long ago I bought this thing. Actually, you know what? I bought it on December 10th, 2011. I
That
actually
was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was able to use Facebook to figure out when I bought it, because, of course, I post about everything. So, yeah. Anyway, you know what it likes, Adriel? It shoots MOA or better with Winchester White Box, 45 grain jacketed hollow point. So I'm not going to spin my wheels trying to load for that gun anymore. That's a hunting gun. It's a varmint gun. I'm going to just get a couple
White
of boxes.
box is
Junk.
FMJ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nope, not this. The 55 grain is FMJ. The 45 grain is jacketed hollow point.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
And it loves it. So I will make sure that the gun, it's got a Vortex Viper 3-9 on it. I'll make sure it's zeroed with that and forget about it. But this bad boy will be low development. I mean, I'm talking 77 grain. I got some 70 grain spear soft
That's
points
nice.
downstairs. Yeah. So
But how
so
far are
this
you gonna shoot
package,
it?
I'll shoot this at 600, man.
Is that like a long range rifle, or is it like a hunting rifle?
Well, it's the beginning of a target rifle, really, because
okay, yeah.
it's got a 1 in 8 twist rate on the barrel. It's got a heavy barrel. It's got a threaded barrel, because if you want to clean your barrel in the basement, it's important to put a solvent trap on there to catch all that dirty solvent, so it stays off your bench floor. It came with a bipod, a scope, 2 detachable 10-round magazines.
Those are 10 round.
And those are 10 round.
Oh, what pattern are they? Custom, probably.
They look like international, but
ICS or something like that.
yeah, but I can't say for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, and all of it for like $800 or something like that.
Yeah,
like
but that
it.
was a while ago,
like it.
right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't think they've changed though, Kelly. But
No, they're
and
still 800.
I think so.
That's a good deal.
860 maybe. I'm not sure. I might be confusing it with the 308 and the 223 or the 308 and 30.6 because they have that as a package as well. There's another package that you can get this gun without a heavy barrel, but you get a plano case. It has a Nico Sterling Panamax 3-9 scope. That's gotta go a little bit.
Yeah.
The reticle is kind of
Yeah.
it's better than like
a
the
package
Bushnell.
scope. Package scopes just
It is a package scope.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
But if you go to Nico Sterling's website, they, whatever, it's marketing. They say a lot of good stuff about a lot of other products, I'm sure. So,
What does it sell
Anyway.
for on its own? 50
yeah,
bucks?
exactly, right?
Probably 50
Yeah.
bucks, maybe less.
Yeah, I don't know. So, the stock is not as nice as the one on the 22-250 because it's a Hogue overlay stock, but
Yeah.
it's not bad. But they make chassis for this, right? So, even if I put it in chassis, it can still use as a varmint rifle. So, that's yep. So with that, I mean, a 77 grain bullet, I shoot deer, no problem. Shoot deer all day. Shoot a bear, don't matter. All right, what else did I get up to? Oh yeah, and then for that, yeah, and then of course I had to do all the. I lapped the rings. I took the scope off, lapped the rings, put the scope back on, cleaned the bore, all that kind of stuff. Then
Do you lap the rings and then put a $50 scope back on it?
Of course.
So here's the thing. It's more important to lap the rings when you have a cheap scope than it is when you have good rings and good scope. Those
Correct.
$200 Vortex rings, I ain't going to lap. My Alberta Tactical Rifle Supply rings, I'm not going to lap. But when you buy cheap rings, they need to be lapped because they're cheap rings. So that's my philosophy on that. And then on the weekend, I went to a 3-gun match. So Friday night, went down to Captain Andy's, got absolutely polluted. When we got liquored, we didn't even switch to the cheap scotch. We just stayed on the really good scotch. Oh man, like the hot tubs cigars. We're in the we're in the hot tub having cigars and scotch. And I don't remember what time I went to bed, but it was north of 2 a.m. So
When were
I
you
woke-
shooting?
Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, I get up, Kelly, and I'm like, damn, I'm good to go. I'm going to call Casey. Casey's going to pick me up on the way to the range. I'm going to go help set up. I didn't realize I was still drunk, you see. I left the house feeling fine. About halfway to the range, I sobered up. Hangover kicks in on the drive. The snakiest, windiest roads. Like, I like, oh man. I like the last 5 minutes of the drive. It took everything I had to not vomit. And then we got there and it was raining. So we all stood inside a sea can waiting for the rain. And I just kept burping and burping. And burping.
Oh.
I just wanted to puke so bad, and I couldn't. And it just kept the sounds coming out of me. It was like I was possessed. I thought it was like if I did puke, it was for sure going to be green pea soup. Just that my head was going to spin and stuff. It was awful. Anyway, needless to say, I did not contribute much. I mostly got in the way.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work to do because before we could build the stages, everything had been knocked over in the wind, so all that had to be picked up. Oh my god! And everything required maximum effort. Bending over to pick something up, it was always a gamble as to whether or not I would just keep going. So
You're painting a vivid picture of this match day.
Did you say I'm never going to do that again?
You know what? I didn't because
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you're good to go for next
You know
time.
now that,
Yeah.
that those kind
There's
of words are worthless.
worthless.
I know. He's just going to do it
meaningless.
again.
Don't absolutely like
So
yeah.
did
And
you
Sean,
help?
I did well. I mean, I helped as much as I could. I probably didn't actually get in the way, but I didn't exactly lead the charge. You know what I mean? And Sean, the club president, he's like, "Why do you do this to yourself all the time?" I'm like, the match isn't until tomorrow. I have a whole day to recover. Unlike that year at the provincials where George McKillop, we got there at 3:00 in the afternoon and we didn't eat. We just drank and drank and drank. The next day it was like, no, I gave the match away and I losing by like 0.5%. Anyway, so the match itself, it was a 3-gun match with 4 stages and the scoring was time plus. So for the listeners who don't know, time plus is however amount of time it takes you to shoot the stage is your score. And then if you have penalties, they add time to your score. So for example, a failure to neutralize a paper target would result in a 5-second penalty. So your score was 20 seconds. Oh, you had a failure to neutralize. Now your score is 25 seconds. So like golf, at the end of the day, the person with the lowest score wins. Mistakes were made, as Adria would say. There was this one awesome stage that incorporated 3 bays. So we started on the rifle range. We shot 20 rounds of rifle, ditched the rifle, pick up the handgun, I didn't have my own handgun because I goofed, waited too long to request an ATT. May have acted like a jerk about it, and then apologized, then sent the right information, but it was too late. And I got an email on Monday telling me that my ATT I needed Friday was denied because I took too long to. But hey, I know, but whatever. It's a system, right? They got back to me, so that's all good. Anyway, so I had to borrow one of Steven's guns. So it was 1911, and Steven is like the Hulk, like he's a big man, and his hands are much, much bigger than mine, like Andre the Giant's hands. Mean Gene Okerlund. That's what's going on here. Anyway, he's got long reach triggers on his 1911s, and I can't. Anyway, so I shot. I heard a ting. Steel didn't go down. So failure to miss a penalty or a steal, or complete miss on steal. They call it. It's like 10 seconds. At the end of the day, the guy in third place was slower than me, but when you added my penalties, which totaled 25 seconds, it cost me third place. First place was George. Second place was Sean. Now, I could have kept up with Sean if I didn't have some malfunctions. At some point, my Typhoon would not feed because the mag got stepped on and the feed lip got bent, and I didn't realize it. So it'd be like, click, cycle the bolt, then it would strip the round off. Bang, cycle, and then anyway, so 3 failures to feed in one stage. Bang, click, rack, bang, click, rack, bang. And then on another stage, my rifle doubled, and then that caused a double feed, so that had to be addressed. Other than that, my stage plans always worked. And I had one of those full-length pistol mags. Did the mag change, put the mag in too hard, rounds pushed down a little bit, follower got caught up on the dimples, bang, click, click, tap, click, bang, oh God. And then I rushed the shots, and I had a mic and a penalty. So between the malfunctions and the failures and the malfunctions and the penalties, I mean, I blew it.
When you mention the long pistol mag, are you talking for the Typhoon?
No, sorry, there is no Typhoon pistol.
Well, there's the Typhoon pump shotgun mags that are...
Yeah, the Uzcon, that's pump, yeah. No, I'm talking about the LAR pistol mags that are now in the 30-round body but are crimped. Yeah, those ones.
And you managed to over-insert one?
Yeah, I think the follower must have got caught up because the rounds weren't stripping off of the magazine. It wasn't until I held the bolt back, tapped the mag, and then let the bolt go to start to strip rounds again.
Oh, maybe it's tight on a closed bolt.
Could be.
Yeah,
because a regular tap rack was not getting it to wake up.
Check with 10 rounds in it. Just check it to see if it'll go in on a closed bolt. I bet you it's too tight.
I had to tune all my other 10-round LAR mags, like these ones, right? So I need to get base pads for these, like to make them the full length so they come out of the pouches. Shout out to Nathan. I think it was Nathan. If it wasn't Nathan, then shout out to the guy who showed me this trick. Using shorter rifle magazines that are hard to get out of the pouches. Simply drop a shotgun shell down inside your pouch, and it pushes up your mag.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, right.
And then you get a spare shotgun shell if you need one.
Right. So there was a dude shooting. Okay, not only was there a guy shooting this match with an SKS, it was a Chinese SKS. He was in my squad, but he did fine. It wasn't incredibly.
Who was that?
I don't remember his name.
You don't remember?
I don't know. And then there was another guy, Noah. Noah was there with an M1 Garand in 308, and he made mag pouches that he could clip his stripper clips on his belt. The clips, end block clips are magnetic. So he made these magnetic clips for his belt, like mag pouches, if you will, that his stripper clips went on. Like, he rocked that thing. And so we're shooting plates with 5.56. It's like, ooh, I think I'll fall over. And then wham, 308. These 10s flex awesome. Yeah. So yeah, good time. Mistakes were made. And then I got back to I'm back to Campro. So Sean, the president of AMA, has banned, or he may, I don't know if he's the president, he's a master director anyway. No more coated ammo. It doesn't matter if it's X metal or if it's federal, whatever they call their coated ammo, or even if you powder coat, because he banned this ammo at the indoor range. Okay.
But why?
Because
indoor, maybe because it's smoky.
Way too smoky. Way too smoky.
Yeah.
And the ventilation system just can't keep up with it. So I had switched to Campro. So I picked some up from Sean at the weekend and started to reload that. I'm going to calm down a little bit before I reload too much because I've got to test it my new gun for overall length as well as power factor, because I'm sure the 1911 will take longer than what this will. And ogive matters in these match barrels. I know I used to shoot 125 grain in my 1911 and I had a shadow. It would not run in. I had a stock 3. It would not run in. So
Shadows are
ogive
picky.
is a thing.
Shadows have a real tight match barrel. You can't
They
run
sure do.
bullets like way out there.
Yep. So here's the announcement. It's if you follow me on Instagram, you're already well aware.
Do you want like a drum roll?
Can you do a drum roll?
Sure. There you go.
You were far more coordinated than I gave you credit for. That's pretty good. Boom. So what we're looking at here is my new pistol for IPSC for the 2020 season. It was provided to me by the Calgary Shooting Center. If you don't shop there, you are a communist. It is a Phoenix Redback. So some people had heard of the Sphinx pistol. So Sphinx was the company that these guys were before, and they've since switched over to Phoenix. They're made in Switzerland, and it is a CZ75 pattern pistol. So similar to a Shadow 2, or a Tanfoglio, but it is way more refined than the Tanfoglios, certainly way more refined than the CZs. This is the finest production pistol that I have ever held. I've yet to shoot it. It is beautiful. The fit and finish is amazing. This is a production optics gun, so looks very CZ-like, very Shadow-like, but just the fit and finish and the quality is way ahead of those guys.
Does it take Shadow parts? Like if you bust your slide stop, which happens a lot on Shadows, can you just toss a CZ75 slide stop in there?
No. I say no. I've yet to try. I believe there is some spring compatibility. I've been talking to some of the European Phoenix shooters. First of all, I want to talk to them because of magazines. So I was told it takes a proprietary magazine, which wouldn't make sense, right? There's some compatibility between I'm holding up 2 magazines here. The one with the blue follower is a CZ mag. The chrome mag is a Tanfo mag. Well, guess what? They both work in this gun. Now, cool. I haven't fired it, but they both lock in and they both cycle dummy rounds, no problem. And they lock open, no problem. So I was a little concerned at first because the gun only came with 4 mags and Jeff didn't know when the next order of mags from Switzerland would be in. So no problem. I had a Tanfo mag kicking around from back in the day, and I brought home a CZ mag from the shop tonight, and voila. So this pistol...
I'll just get a bunch of those CZ mags, because you can get the Mekar mags are like
that's what this is, buddy.
$34. Yeah.
I don't think they're $34. If you can find them for $34, please let me know, because
you can find them for cheaper if you find them on sale. I bought a pile for right around $34 each.
Where'd you get those?
I've got like 10 mags. Tenda, I think. Tenda.
They've
and
since gone up. I mean, maybe we overpaid when we bought them because they're $50 at my house.
Are they labeled CZ Shadow? And are they labeled CZ, or are they labeled Mekar?
They are labeled CZ75 Mekar, made in Italy.
Yeah, I can find them for cheaper than that.
All right. Well,
he's gonna Google it while you talk.
Cool. So the gun is all steel construction, but the Phoenix Redback comes in regular, light, and ultralight. It's kind of got the bottom. The frame is modular, like on a STI 2011. The bottom of the frame comes off. So, but you can get this with a steel top, an aluminum frame. Steel top and polymer frame. So this one's steel, and it is the heaviest pistol I have ever held as far as an IPSC style pistol is concerned. Now that being said, it weighs 2 pounds 14.7 ounces. Now to put that into comparison, Beretta 92FS. So if you don't know, the Beretta 92FS has an aluminum frame. It's very light, 1 pound, 14.7 ounces. My 1911s, 2 pounds, 7.3 ounces. My 357 Magnum, 2 pounds, 9.3 ounces. This thing, 2 pounds, 14.7 ounces. So can you say recoil mitigation, like I'm getting tired holding it. That's how freaking heavy it is. Some guys don't like a heavy gun. I love a heavy gun, especially a 9mm. It's not going to move. So it's going to be awesome. This one came with a Trijicon RMR red dot because this is a production optics pistol. So for the listeners, production optics is a production gun with a red dot mounted to the slide that reciprocates with the slide. Unlike an open gun where the red dot stays static and does not move when the gun recoils, this travels with the reciprocation of the slide. It's mounted directly on the slide. The gun, the barrel length is 4.547 inches. The overall length of the gun is 8.31. The height is 6.06 inches. The width is 1.06 inches. Weight, yeah, they list the weight as 2.92 pounds. 2.92 pounds. I couldn't appreciate how much that was until I had it in my hands. Trigger pull. So yeah, right now, I think it could use some springs. Factory guns come with heavier than normal springs for reliability. When you start messing with that to tune it, you risk the chance of taking away the reliability. No one wants their gun out there with a reputation of not being reliable, so they tend to overspring them. So I don't know. This recoil spring is in the 12-pound range probably. I'll drop that down to a 9-pound. Or sorry, no, a 10-pound.
I'm running a 11 in my Shadow too, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'll probably go 10 on this to see how it performs. It has a built-in buffer. A lot of guys have to put an external buffer. Yeah, this one has a buffer built into it as part of the design. When you put a buffer in a gun, sometimes you run the risk of causing malfunctions. This was designed to work with a buffer, and it has its own internal buffer. The grip panels, you can change them. They've got, what's that plastic, or not that plastic, a G10. These are G10 grip panels. The texture is crazy. Watch this after I grip it. I don't know if it'll pick up on the camera or not, but
are you going to have
holes on my hands? Yeah, my hands are now stippled.
Yeah, everyone puts those lock grips on their Shadow 2s, and that's G10. Same stuff.
Yeah. And so you can get the different profiles to make it fit your hand even better.
What's the checkering look like on the back and the front of the grip?
So what's amazing about the back is the checkering is on the, you ready for that? Mainspring housing. This gun uses a 1911 mainspring housing. Yeah. So if you want to change your double action pull, you need to change your mainspring. So on the CZ pattern gun, you need to remove the sear cage and the safeties and the hammer and all that stuff to get to your mainspring. Not in this gun. It has a 1911 mainspring housing, which is removable just by drifting a pin like you would in a 1911.
Cool.
Amazing. The double action is right now 8 pounds, but super crisp. It doesn't stack. The single action is just over 3 pounds. It certainly doesn't feel like it is. The over travel screw, right now I'd like to maybe adjust a little bit, but I couldn't find an Allen key to work. I assume because this gun's in Switzerland, the screw is metric. I tried my metric Allen key and it didn't work. I tried my standard Allen key and it didn't work. It slipped and I was like, I'm done. Yeah, so I don't want to damage that screw, so I left it as is. It has, so some of the improvements over the Phoenix, the trigger guard is different. The Sphinx. The trigger guard is different than the Sphinx is. The slide serrations are different. The magazine release is extended and it's
pretty
threaded.
Pronounced.
Yeah. And Kelly, it's threaded for a button. So I always
cool.
run I run a button on all mine. So I contacted Jeff and asked him if he could track one down from Phoenix. I'm also going to email Phoenix directly. There's only one dealer for these pistols in Canada, and that is our sponsor, the Calgary Shooting Center, my sponsor. So if you need one, which you do, you got to go to these guys. This is the top production optics pistol. There is no production optics pistol better than this. Hands down. It's got
the little bit of grip on the upper left of the frame there. I'd imagine your left thumb is gonna grab onto that as you get your hand up.
Yeah. So they have stippling above the trigger housing, above the trigger guard on both sides. So right in front of your slide stop. And yes, that's exactly where my thumb contacts. And also, it's a nice tactile reference point for when I'm moving with the gun and I need to take my finger off the trigger and out of the guard. I can put it up there in the frame and I feel that texture under my finger and I know it's in the right spot.
Yeah.
People who take their finger out of the guard, but they do that, they put it across the guard, to an RO on the fly, that looks like your fingers in the guard. You can
Yep.
stop that. So
Yep.
you always run it up along the side of the frame so they can see light through the trigger guard. The safeties, ambidextrous. And for your strong side safety, if you're a righty, it is large and in charge and makes a perfect shelf to put your thumb on to keep it down,
Yeah.
help mitigate recoil. And again, consistency in your grip because it's an anchor point. Your thumb is always in the same place, shot after shot. So, yeah, that's the initial review. It's super precise. It's incredibly well made. It's super heavy. It comes with a Trigicon. Doesn't get any better than that.
What's the suggested retail on it?
They are somewhere in the neighborhood of $4,000. So, sound like a lot of money? Well, this is a serious pistol for serious competition. This is not your weekend warrior Glock. This is for somebody who's uber competitive or just wants to have the best of the best. Now, $4,000 sounds like a lot, but let's look at Tanfoglios. Sure, it's more than Tanfoglios, depending on the Tanfoglio that you get, but it's less than STIs. All the top STIs now are $4,000 plus. Okay, so it's more than a Tanfoglio, less than an STI, and then if you get into the creme de la creme of the classic 1911 guns and the 2011 guns, Infinity guns all day are $8,000. Is $6,000 to $10,000.
It's competitive with.
Yep. Yeah, it is. So it's not the most expensive gun out there. So you say $4,000 for a pistol. Well, it's not a carry gun. It's not a Glock. It's a high-end competition pistol made in Switzerland. And you know what they say about things that are Swiss made? They're made incredibly precise, attention to detail. I've never been more impressed.
And you get to lord it over everyone with a CZ Shadow. You'd be like, oh, you've got one of those? Disgusting. Yeah, that's for the you've got one of those Poor's guns. Hey, only
the Poor's guns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Adrian.
Remember how the Shadow people used to talk to the Glock people? Now that's how I'm going to talk to the Shadow
Hey,
people.
Adriel, you and I both have shadows, right?
Yeah. Pardon me, though. I have a Shadow 2.
Yeah. So
you have Adriel's sloppy seconds. That's what you got. You got his
shut up.
Shadow 1? Oh.
Shadow 1?
That's still a thing?
Yeah, it is.
But I got a really good deal. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got a really good deal from Larry, and then I sold it to Burns, and now I want it back. So I'm gonna get it back because I might put an optic on it to have as a backup for this.
Jeff Reese rocks, by the way.
He does. He certainly does. So let's have a quick look. Is there any questions in the Facebook chat about this?
No, people are just saying that it's a really nice gun. They want it.
Trevor is a squirrel moment. That's funny. Joel, I think Joel is New Brunswicker. Joel, are you New Brunswicker? I feel like Joel's a New Brunswicker. And if he is, well, next time I see you, you will get to try it. And Mr. Mead, so what you're saying is I need to sell the rest of my collection, get one of those, right? Absolutely, Doug. You absolutely need to. Doug, if you're in Fredericton this weekend, I'm teaching a class at Filthy's Range in Tracy. Come on out, and I'd be more than happy to let you shoot this gun. So,
wow.
Yes.
I'm just going to be looking down on all
You're
your
going to let
students.
people shoot it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
anybody who wants, I have to. Yeah, 100%. This is my sponsorship guns provided to me by the Calgary Shooting Center. I'm a staff shooter for them, and we want this gun promoted. We want as many people to finger bang it as possible and understand just what a quality firearm this is, right?
Yeah. If you're sponsored, you have to let people shoot the gun because that's how they get
100%.
To it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Mark Manderson used my 1911 at the Thompson corner match. He thought I was doing it out of the goodness of my heart and charity and kindness and because I like him. No. I want you to buy stuff. Come on. No. I wouldn't actually just let anybody shoot my guns. But
would you let me shoot it?
Yeah. For you?
Anything. Yeah.
All right. So that's all I got. Adriel, what have you been up to?
Oh, my turn. All right. Grouse hunting. I didn't shoot any grouse.
But your boy shot something. Your boy shot something.
We've seen pictures.
My boy shot a couple of rabbits and a squirrel. And I shot a couple of rabbits and a squirrel. And then we ate everything.
Even the squirrels?
Everything.
Really?
Everything.
There's nothing you won't eat.
I know.
Just eat it. It's meat. Eat it. Eat the
squirrel. I got really good at doing the rabbits too. By the end of it, I'm like getting right in there, super clean,
Did
really
you ever
nice.
see the video Matthew made of me? It was an instructional video that Matthew made of me cleaning a rabbit.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh,
We
you gotta
talked,
go to his.
we talked about this previously.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
You got to go to his YouTube channel and see that video.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I had the boy out. We were going grouse hunting. We saw a couple grouse, but they didn't really sit still. They're real sketchy. The rabbits, not so much. The rabbits thought they were hiding, and they're just like they're not white yet. They had like a white belly, so you could see that sometimes. But a lot of the time, we'd just be walking through the woods, be like, "Oh, there's one. It's just waiting there." So lots of time for my oldest son to line up on it. I'm like, "Oh, gotta shoot him in the head because we're eating that meat." So
Yeah.
yeah, lots of face shots on the rabbits, and
Lots of face shots.
lots of face shots. Yeah.
He is a really good shooter, so
I was
Well
really
done.
really happy with his shots because they're all headshots, and that's what you want for small game when you're intending on eating the meat, right? You end up like
Yeah.
getting it in the body or something like that makes a mess. It's hard to clean. There's a whole bunch of meat that gets wasted because you're like, ah man, it's all bloodshot meat, or there's like maybe there's some lead fragments in here. I don't really feel like risking that for rabbit meat. But yeah, it was good. Got lots of exercise, got lots of hiking in, lots of armed hiking, and shooting small game with rimfires. Lots of fun. I ended up, so my boy took the Marlin 795, which is kind of quote unquote like his gun. I ended up taking that Ace, that Kui Ace.
Oh, really?
It is so light. It is so light, so you can just like I literally like grabbed the gun, threw like a couple of shells in my pocket, and just like went for a hike. And it's like, and if I saw something that my boy didn't see, and I just felt like taking it, I would just put one shell in there, close it up, and shoot it in the head. It was great for that. Great for a rifle that just is super light and does what it needs to when you need it to, even though it's 90 years old.
yeah, old things still work, right, Jar?
Oh, you beat me to it, Kelly. Hey, Kelly, you work fine.
And then I got a box in the mail today. It didn't say like who it came from. It just had like an address on there. So like
A big box.
at this point, that's not good enough. That doesn't actually tell me what's in the box. So my wife was like,
What's in the box?
got something.
Yeah.
Do you, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. Might be this, might be that. I don't really know. Turned out to be this guy right here.
Which is pretty cool.
It's a pretty neat shotgun. Now, would I use this for small game? Probably not, but you could, I guess. This is a HEMA.
Yes, of course you could, and you should.
HEMA HG 105. It is a semi-automatic bullpup 12 gauge shotgun from Turkey.
Of course.
And yeah, so
How amazing is the trigger?
how amazing is the trigger in a Turkish? Here, let me find out.
In a
here.
bullpup. In a Turkish
Yeah.
bullpup.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna.
What's the one that Canuck has just come out with?
it's not bad.
It's a bullpup.
It's heavy, but it's crisp. Yeah, there's a Canuck Spectre. It'll be the
Oh,
same
yeah,
that's
as
it.
this one. Like a lot of these Turkish shotguns use the same operating stuff inside. Like there's some central factory that just makes all the semi-auto actions, but then they put on different furniture. So whereas this one might have like an aluminum upper, another one might have like a plastic upper, or they might not come with an AFG grip or folding sights or whatever little extra things come on them.
Right.
Or like a adjustable cheek piece or whatever. But this trigger pull isn't that bad. Here, check it out.
Wow.
It's fine. There's no creep in it.
And it's got internal chokes.
Yeah, it's got internal chokes, so you can swap them out if you want.
Swap them out.
What pattern are they?
I just got this thing like today.
So you haven't taken it out, okay.
No, I haven't taken it out, but man, neat shotgun. It's got some folding sights on there.
Yeah, you're not going goose hunting with that.
Why not?
Wow.
Did it come with a 2-round mag?
Period. But I could.
You could.
It'll take 3-inch shells.
Uh,
It's got a bolt hold open, non-reciprocating charging handle. Kind of neat.
Wow.
I'd like to see the reviews.
Came in
I'd like to see you shoot it.
Came in an okay case. Oh, this is.
I thought you were
this is
going to say like
something
a wrecking ball.
I couldn't figure this out. These mags have this cover on them. Do you know what this cover's for?
Put it back in the gun, I'll tell you.
Okay, you're gonna get it wrong, but
The hold?
It's a speed loader
what kind of speed loader?
for loading the magazine.
So I'll really put it out there.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What is that? This goes
What
on.
the-
This goes on pep rail.
Oh.
You can- You can swap out the AFG.
AFG
And
for
slide
a grip.
Slide this thing on there and have like an upside down shotgun mag grip, and then push this button, slide it off the front, and stab
That is
it
the
in the
most
back.
ridiculous, stupidest thing I have ever heard of.
It's from Turkey. Come on.
Yes,
Right?
But
It's the extra.
But it's kind of funny.
It's very
You
fun.
could take 10 rounds on this thing. You could take 5 in the back and 5 up front if you really want to. And that's why it's got those finger grips in there, so you can it's a foregrip on the front.
Wonder if you could couple them together. Never mind.
That's a Kelly. No, Kelly, really, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was for coupling them together because that's logical. It makes sense.
Or it's a foregrip.
Yeah, you're right. Never, ever in a million years. So at our 3-gun match, Nathan was running a Typhoon. He didn't have any USCon AS-46 mags, so he took Kydex and made his own coupler and paired the 2 5-rounders together, and he would just do the flip thing like we used to do with coupled LAR mags.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smart.
But really
And then
what
his
you should
gun
do
blew
is
apart.
You should get the 10 rounders.
His gun
and
blew
couple
apart?
those.
Yeah. I got to share this story, Adriel.
What? His gun blew apart?
Yeah, so he had the fake can on his gun, and the fake can acts as a barrel nut that holds the handguard to the receiver. And it was recommended to him that for this particular stage, he use chokes. So he removed this fake can, put a choke on, but didn't know or forgot, and didn't replace the barrel nut to hold the handguard on. So when he got to the shot, he started shooting, and then the shotgun come apart. And then we were supposed to score it and give him hits and misses, and I ended up screwing up the timer before we could record the time. I dropped the timer, messed up the time. Anyway,
Likely story.
As a range master, I should know better and to mess with the timer. So
You
as a
got to
result,
reshoot.
he got a reshoot, and I fixed his shotgun. I didn't fix it. I said, "Here's the part you need. Here's the tool you need. Do this." And then he did it. So
Cool.
So again, I apologize for causing a reshoot.
I'm thinking he probably was thankful that you caused a reshoot.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What else have I been up to? I'm going to a 3-gun meeting tonight for an upcoming 3-gun match. I've been chopping up some of our videos. So some of our live streamed YouTube videos, I've chopped like little 5-minute sections out of them. It's one thing I actually noticed that Joe Rogan does. So he has this like 2, 3, 4 hour long show, and then his people will like chop out little like 5 or 10 minute segments and just produce those as their own. I'm like, oh, I could do that with Slamfire. So I've been taking. I just tested it with a couple of our past episodes. I might do tonight's as well. And
That's a great idea.
chop them out and throw them. Well, some of this stuff doesn't have a video, right? Like Nylon 66's there's videos on. Kuyace 1's done yet right now. Not really much out there.
There's not much out there about the Phoenix pistols because they be new and they're only in Europe.
Yeah, exactly. So as you were doing that, I'm like, yeah, I'll cut this one and throw it up there too. So I'm just going to do that for some of our shorter, what we did in guns kind of a things, and get them out there.
Cool.
That's it for me. What about you, Kelly?
So I did a couple things. I just want to let you know that I'm getting ready for Maple Seed. That's going to be happening in the Lower Trent Valley, which is technically Trenton, this weekend. So I went and did some things for that. Went to our storage area. We're going to be doing that one on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be going to Schoolhouse 2.0, which is a new range in Brockville, the CUSF, or the Canadian University Shooting Federation. It's Federation. They're going to be holding a shoot there, and so I'm going to be going there. So I went and got a bunch of stuff for them, too, because I'm going to be giving them a swag and everything, and I'm going to get them I'm going to get them to shoot. I don't know if I'm going to get them to shoot MQT, which is a Maple Seed qualifying test, or I'm going to get them to shoot. I'll probably get them to shoot a Mad Minute. Just anyways, I'm going to give them a whole bunch of stuff, and then Maple Seed is going to be working with them. So the Canadian University Shooting Federation, we're going to be doing Maple Seeds for all of their clubs across the country. So I just wanted to announce that we're going to be starting in the spring. So we'll do it across the country. On Saturday,
It's a really cool idea, because I think that in terms of, I think what they've been doing so far, they've been doing a lot of like range trips and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I don't think they've been doing any focused courses on being a better shooter.
No, they haven't been. So they wanted to look at pistol and they wanted to look at rifle. So they contacted us, see if we were willing to to do program with them with the rifle.
Too.
Yeah, and we have the best people, right, Adriel?
Well, I mean, aside from me, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that because it's going to be Alberta, here in Ontario. They have a couple in, I don't know if they've got a couple in Saskatchewan or not. Anyways, they're all across the country, but we're going to do that. And it's a really, really good idea because what it's doing is getting university age students basically shooting. So that's our next, shooters. So I said, sure, why not? What else did I do? On Saturday, I hung out with my, the whole hashtag my tribe. We went up to Ottawa, and so we had some CCFR peeps that went out and supported someone that is in our community, the CCFR community. She was hosting a fundraiser for someone that is in her hockey league, basically. And this woman, both her parents were diagnosed with brain cancer within a couple of weeks of each other. So they were doing a fundraiser, and on Saturday night they raised over $9,000 so far. They're saying $9,000. So, which was awesome. And it's basically our gun community supporting another community. So, and she gave us a shout out on, all the Instagrams and everything. So it's nice to see. On Sunday, I went shooting with Greg Weiss. He's one of the...
I love Greg.
Yeah, me too.
Greg is the man.
So Greg is, he's a regional field officer coordinator for Ontario.
Not just that. He's one of the master learning facilitators for the CCFR.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, you have to get working on that because Greg wants... Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, December. We have a meeting scheduled for December.
Okay, so December. Right. I got to do that, by the way. I really do have to do that. What we're talking about is RSO training. Okay, so I met up with Greg at the range, and he brought a couple of his new rifles. So he had a Cadex 338 Lapua.
Yes.
It was
he does.
So very nice. And then he went to TACCOM, and he went and visited the guys at Bullseye. By the way, hi, Rick Woods. He's working at Bullseye now.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. What about his regular job?
Yeah, he does that, but he also works at Bullseye. Yeah.
Nice.
So he went and saw Rick, and they kind of sold him a Howa, and it's the...
Which Howa?
It's the ACP Canadian Predator in 6.5 Creedmoor. So I went and shot that as well. And it's beautiful, and it's if you go on my Facebook page, I have a picture of it on the cover page. It's beautiful. It's got the Canadian, it's like red and white and maple leaf on it.
Howas are really taken off, man.
Yep. And you can do a long range with it, 6.5 Creedmoor. Got to do pre-RS with it.
I can't grow a man bun, Kelly.
Oh, come on.
I can't.
Come on.
I think you'd have to do 6 Creedmoor at this point to do the hipster thing, because 6.5 Creedmoor is too mainstream.
I'd rather start a tractor.
All right. It was really, really fun. Yeah, we really need to get into some PRS shooting. It was fun. So I wanted to say thank you to Greg. I'll give him a shout out in the shout out part. What else? And then on Sunday, I'm kind of going backwards. Yeah, oh well. I did a Maple Seed instructor call.
You are going backwards. You started off by telling us what you were going to do, and now you're working backwards. First. Who's dyslexic? Kelly's a dyslexic.
I know. I did a Maple Seed call with the instructors. We're finishing up the season, but we have a lot of things planned for the off season. So we're going to be doing things like instructor boot camps, developing them, and developing our new shoot bosses, aka Adriel, Ryan, and everybody, so that they can have so Adriel can actually do events in Alberta, so we don't have to always go there. And what else are we going to do? We're going to actually start booking events, and that's in January. So our Maple Seed season is over, but it's about to start again. So I'm very excited about it. I get a couple weeks off, though, so I'm excited about that, too. So that's it. That's what I did.
All right.
What?
You should take a couple weeks off. Treat yourself.
Yeah,
thanks. I appreciate it. I don't have a final total for events, but I know that we did over 65 this year.
How many do you think we're going to do next year?
Oh, we'll
Over
probably
100?
do. Oh, yeah, we'll do over 100 because our regional, we'll be doing over 100. We'll be doing we'll doing them regionally in BC, regionally in Alberta, regionally in Saskatchewan.
Say regionally one more time.
Regionally, maybe in Manitoba, Ontario, we're going to concentrate a lot on Ontario because we don't really have
I
to go as
immediately
much.
regretted saying that.
And we are going to be going to Atlantic Canada, get Gallon all set up so he can do them regionally. And then we're also going to be doing Newfoundland. I'm so excited.
The region of Newfoundland.
The region of Newfoundland.
Which is,
regionally. And we're going to be apparently going to this place in Cape Breton that has a pub and
off-grid camping, yeah.
Off-grid camping. We're going to go there too.
Now, there's one thing that may change everything for some of these things and some.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. I was offered a job stay on Oak Island, and I had to turn it down because it's only until December. But I did tell the guy, if something opens up at the end of June for the summer next year.
Okay. You know what?
I told you I was buying an island.
Is the job like digging for gold in the treasures of Oak Island? Is that the job?
It's whatever they tell me to do.
It's swords. He wants swords.
Yeah, I'll show up my sword in my belt. I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah, really.
You know what? I learned a long time ago to never plan anything around you.
Oh. Well, but it's good.
Remember that one time you were supposed to go down to Michigan?
It was more than one time.
I know. And then I was going to say, the other time you were supposed to go down to Michigan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
You know.
Love you too.
I'm just saying. Come on now. If the opportunity presents itself, I'm bailing.
Oh, you're going to go work at Oak Island. I'm still going to Newfoundland, though.
No charity shoot unless somebody else here takes it over. No SummerSlam. No national. I'll be living on the island. I'll be like, that's it. I won't touch a gun all summer. I'll send this back to Calgary, and
you're not allowed to actually do that.
You're gonna pick up.
We're going to. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move forward with the show, and then we're going to have a talk after the show.
Yes, ma'am. Moving on. All right, up to upcoming events. So we have Kamloops Target Shoes Association, Kamloops, BC, October 28th. That's a maple seed.
Yeah, we still have spots available. We just put it out as an email as well to all of our Maple Seed peeps. But we have spots available. Kamloops, get out there. You got enough people, we'll fill the line.
Oh my God, yes.
It's still nice. So that's next weekend.
If you're
go buy a ticket.
Anywhere within like 3 hours or 4 hours of Kamloops, October 28th, Maple Seed, go to mapleseedrifleman.com. Check the dates and register.
It's going to be like 10 degrees.
I know.
That's plenty good. Like our one in Edmonton here in Sherwood Park, it's probably going to be 0.
Yeah. Kelly, do you do winter seeds yet? Is there a thing yet?
No, not yet, but we will be. I'm expecting us to probably be doing. I do know that Edmonton qualified this year for a maple seed, and so did not Peterborough, Petawawa.
For a winter seed, yeah.
Winter seed, sorry, yeah.
Okay, well, you could order some and send them after the fact, I guess. All right. Okay. So on to the news. In case you didn't know, you're living under a rock. Justin Trudeau is our prime minister again, but he didn't get the popular vote, and that's all that matters unless you're Hillary. I think. What are we doing with this? Am I going to rant and rave here like a lunatic, or are we going to move on?
I was considering.
Well, I think that we need. People are asking what our opinions are. Everybody knows what our opinions are.
Are you going to do anything? What are you going to do?
What can we do about it?
What are you going to change about what you're going to do based on this information?
Exactly. What can we do about it?
It's coming apart. One thing that I want to complain about before we start talking about what we're going to do moving forward is, if you're in British Columbia or Alberta, and you turn on the television to watch the election coverage, and you see that the election has already been decided and your polls aren't even closed yet, there's a problem with their system. And I don't mean the system that you can tune in and find out. I mean, there's a problem that the election can be decided on one end of the country before the polls are even closed on the other end.
The election is decided in Ontario.
Yep.
Yeah, by the time you get there. Ontario.
Yep. The 905.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly it. Because it's population based. Mm-hmm. So there is more seats in-house in Ontario than there are in Western Canada.
Prince Edward Island has 4 seats, and it has a population less than...
Of Kingston, 150,000.
Right?
Yep.
It has 170,000. So, but there are regions in Alberta that have way more population than that and get 1 seat, and Prince Edward Island gets 4 seats. Why does Prince Edward Island need 4 seats?
Because it's a province, and originally they're like, oh, well, we're going to give all the provinces at least 4.
It's a province
Like,
with
there's-
a population
there's
less than the city of Halifax.
There's pros and cons to it. I would say if I was in PEI, I would be scared of higher populations in other provinces running my country, and I wouldn't have a say at all.
Like Alberta.
Like Alberta. Yeah. I'm fully cognizant that I'm gonna we got the short end of the stick this time on it. But a lot of the times the Conservative Party does fairly well because of first past the poll as well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I talked about this before. My resentment for Quebec is showing more and more every day.
Well, we already.
In the 90s, Quebec threatened separation. And I remember a feeling of the rest of the country, all of us, not maybe at the time, I was in a liberal arts university. And so I can speak to the vibe there, which I, being young and naive and inexperienced at the time, expected that all of my fellow countrymen felt this way. And that was that we rallied and said, no, Quebec, don't separate. Like, we need you as part of Canada, right? Now, I recognize that it was always just a ploy. It was always just a way of them playing politics to suck more out of the rest of us, particularly the West. These days, they would never separate. If they separate, they stand to lose $14 billion in transfer payments. So, of course, they're never going to separate. Just like the pipeline. I talked about this before. They're saying no to the pipeline, not because they're concerned about the environment, because they're playing politics. They'll let the pipeline go through when they get more. There's a reason why they subsidize everything in their province the way they do, is because they're using other people's money to subsidize everything.
Yeah. Let's keep it to guns, though, because otherwise we'll go way past our time limit for.
You're right, but it just closing.
Closing.
The joke's on them, because now there's serious talk of Alberta separating.
Yes,
and if Alberta separates, we're all effed, because we're all running programs that we can't afford to run with all Alberta's money.
Yeah, there are parts of Canada, New Brunswick and PEI, that have a very large portion of the province's budget is equalization payments, right?
Of course.
15-20% is a big number of a budget to have just coming in from other provinces.
Now, thankfully, New Brunswick went all blue, except for the French part up north where I live.
Where you live, I was just going to say, yeah.
Traditionally liberal, and it's because of the candidate that the Liberals run here, and they're
except for
voting for the man and not the party.
Right. Except for the one, Fredericton went green.
Yeah, and I think Fredericton is conservative enough, but there's liberal enough, but conservative enough. So typically they're conservative enough to not vote liberal, but not conservative enough to vote conservative.
Yeah.
And so the green was we don't want to vote for Justin, but we're not voting for the other guy. And, a lot of people gave Scheer crap throughout the election. He's not a good leader. He's not a good leader. He's not a good leader. Jesus, man. After all the crap the Liberals did and you still couldn't win, they just didn't like Scheer because he was too...
He had some opportunities to stomp some ambiguity, and he chose not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about how this is going to affect us as gun owners, because I'm sure everyone who's into politics has watched it and is angry enough and has seen that. Yeah, I mean, there's talk of separation. There is some other times when things don't go.
I have a question though, and I don't know if I should be bringing this up, but I'm going to do it anyways. So, Max, no hope in hell of winning.
No, he had good ideas, but crazy as a loon.
Right. So no hope in hell. And we saw that there was 6 ridings where the people that voted for the PPC candidate actually would have impacted and Conservative would have gotten in. And I know that there would have been others as well. Mm-hmm. So why? Why are people voting for people that they know that there's no hope in hell when there are, and these people are all about liberty?
Yeah. So I don't think it wouldn't have caused a Conservative win at the end of the day.
No, it wouldn't have.
Didn't exist, and I think that the Conservative Party needs to know, like, there's always going to be someone further right or further libertarian than the Conservative Party will be. And
absolutely,
they need to know what share of the population that is. Yeah, it sucks that the right vote splits, the left vote splits worse.
It's just like, get your head out of here, and it just
Yeah.
made
So,
me upset. Anyways, go ahead.
Liberal Party in the acceptance speech, which he stomped over Scheer's and Singh's speeches to say, the third point out of his mouth was they're going to get guns off the streets, which means out of our houses. So,
Yes.
because they're not on the streets, and there's no AR-15s that are murdering anyone in the streets in Canada here. So it means that they're going to come out of our houses. Now, Liberals have a minority government. Do you guys think that the NDP or Bloc or someone else is going to support the Liberals' gun control measures?
Do we? I'm afraid that it will be put up, and either the NDP or the Bloc will support it,
Or both?
or both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was muted. I believe that both the Bloc and the NDP are going to support this.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to see a coalition between the NDP and the
We won't.
Liberals because of the pipeline. They won't come to terms on that. But absolutely,
On gun control, yeah.
anything that they table with regard to gun control, those two parties will support it.
So the question is, will they get something in before their minority government crumbles over something else, like the
No.
pipeline or something else?
No.
So will they get the bill in, and will the 2-year amnesty be expired before the next election, and then can someone else be elected? I think that the only solution at this point is political. I was chatting with some other guys, and they're like, we should protest. I'm like, they protested in the mid-90s, and it didn't do anything. If the Liberal government wants to push this through and has the political means to, they
Well,
will.
they can with the OIC, with the order in council. They can.
That's correct. Yeah. Now, I mean, like they were talking about a buyback with 2-year amnesty and that kind of thing. So that if they follow that, we do have some time to try to get someone else in power. But then that's it. That's all we have.
Yep. I don't
Yep.
know.
At this point, some people have been talking about like, what are good AR-15 alternatives that I can look into for 3-gun and that kind of thing. I think the answer is none, because I don't think they're going to skip over the WK-180Cs and the Maccabee SLRs and that kind of thing. I think those would be included in. We're going to ban assault rifles like the AR-15. I think those are going to include maybe centerfire, box fed, all those, right?
Yep. So, okay, we've got 15 minutes left to wrap up the show. So, what do we want to do? Cut new gun stuff and cover some of the topics, or cover the main topics another time and do new gun stuff?
Well, the main topics were really interesting. The one thing that I really liked is the listeners and viewers now suggested some really good topics. So I think we've got some of these I think bear exploring in a full show.
Indefinitely.
Yeah.
So why don't we copy and paste them all to a document and move on to, and we'll do it next week and so on.
Yeah.
Also, so let the listeners know we are still trying to nail down Captain Andy for a episode on muzzleloading hunting. Tracy Wilson will be on as early as next week. So next week, Captain Andy will get bumped. We're going to have Tracy Wilson on to discuss the CCFR's plans going forward now that the election has happened. So that'll be next week, and then hopefully the weekend after that'll be Captain Andy. But your, like Adriel said, your ideas were awesome. So we're going to file them. And on the weeks where we don't have a topic, we're going to steal your ideas.
Which are frequent.
Yeah, which is easier than coming up with our own.
Yeah.
I was talking to the guys from Spectre Ballistics about getting the LPC and talking about that, because that's kind of an interesting rifle.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we jump into listener feedback then? And that is brought to us by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, park rising, Cerakote finishes, and wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at www.dcgunsmith.ca. You can also check him out on Facebook at facebook.com/armory. So the French spelling for armory, DC Gunsmith, and Instagram at instagram.com/armory. DC Gunsmith. So this first one comes to us from James Ginger Snaps, and he says, I was going to call Trevor on his way home from the 3-gun this weekend, but I figured I would save myself 2 ear beatings and just listen to Slamfire Radio. Wondering if you could talk about powder actuated lead accelerator restraining devices and how important it is to check them before your time to shoot. Holster retention in IPSC, not needed. 3-gun, very important. I watched Trevor pull his gun probably a dozen times, and I didn't clue in that I should be doing the same. Insert audio clip, Law and Order, dum dum dum. And I'll say I'll never do it again, but we all know it's going to probably happen.
Yeah.
Again.
Did
Failure.
he have his gun come out of his holster?
Failure is the greatest teacher. Yeah. So the reason why I thought this was kind of karma was at last year's 3-gun, perhaps the year before, I can't remember. I had received a new Kydex holster for my Arsenal Strike 1 and was using it for the first time in a 3-gun match. Failed to test running with it, and when I took off running, the gun came out of my holster. There's no coming back from that. We had 2 people DQ, as a matter of fact, at this 3-gun for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, at the time when I dropped my gun, Ginger Snaps was the arrow.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not the arrow for him. I believe it was Steven, I believe. Anyway, his first stage. I don't even know. He might have been the first guy. I don't know if anybody shot first. At his first stage, he shot one away, took off running, and the gun came out of the holster.
Mm-hmm. We see it a lot. We see it a lot in 3-gun. It's a different sport. In IPSC, your holster, you could use like a flip-flop sandal for your holster. Doesn't matter.
Nope. Yep.
Gun's coming out as soon as the beep comes off, and you're running. So it doesn't matter how much retention is on it.
Look at this one. I mean, this. I forgot to talk about this later. I'll talk about shows. Yeah.
Great for IPSC, but for 3-gun, when you're running with a rifle in your hands and a pistol on your belt, and let's say you've got that 3-pound thing on your belt.
Yeah,
that thing's going for a walk. That thing's going out onto the ground.
Going for a walk for sure. Yeah.
So like for guys at Chaz, shadows are particularly bad. Even with the Kydex holsters, they come out. You need a retention device on a steel frame pistol. The polymer ones, you might get away with not having to need one just because they're lighter.
Yeah.
I just had a regular Kydex that Casey gave me. It was a Ghost 1, I believe. No, what was it? Was it a Ghost 1? No, I had a Ghost 1. Anyway, it was Kydex. I just tightened it way down.
Yeah.
And then I tightened it some more.
Even that. There is a risk. There's a risk coming out.
Like James said, he saw me like testing it like a dozen times, and he didn't clue in that, oh yeah, I should be testing mine too. So
yeah, I would say in 3-gun, you got it. The Safariland GLS is $50, and it has retention that's very easy to use. That's the one to get. That's the one for 3-gun.
Nice. Safari GLS.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Or, I mean, if you've got money coming out your ears, you could get one of those double alphas, because they've got a really nice lock on there too. They don't protect the gun as much, so if you need to go down urban prone, like on your right hand side, you're laying on your gun, and laying on a gun that's a speed holster isn't really fantastic, because you're running your gun into the dirt, right?
Yeah. CR Speed now has one as well with a button. Yeah, but the button is
WISM, but it's not.
No, not that thing. That's a race holster. No. CR Speed is now making a retention style holster with a lock on it that is a push button and stuff, but you don't use your trigger finger, and it's universal. It's
what do you use?
Your rig. Sean was testing it out on the weekend. Yeah.
Fingers.
No, I think it's thumb.
Thumb.
The inside.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't like the thumb ones. I have a thumb one. I have a thumb one for my Glock, and I like the couple of with training you can do it. With training you can do it. With the GLS you do not need training. You grab the gun and it comes out.
Yeah. Cool. So if you'd like to email the show and confess your most recent DQ to us, you can do so by oh man, I DQ'd a guy on both days. I DQ'd a guy at Thomaston Corner, and I DQ'd a guy at Miramichi. So anyway,
that happens.
Yeah, it does. It always sucks though. One guy finger was in the guard, and everybody apparently on the squad heard me say, "Get your finger out of there," except for him, or he didn't know what I was talking about. But anyway, I had to stop him.
Yeah,
and that guy just he came around the wall and pointed the gun up range when he came around the wall. But that dude, Never said boo about it. Understood. Took it like a man. Picked up a patch gun and stayed with his squad all day. I was very proud of him. Yep. All right. So if you'd like to email us about your most recent DQ, you can do so by sending it to slamfireradio@gmail.com.
That'd be a cool show.
DQs? Can I do Dairy Queen?
Tell us about your DQs. That would be a really cool listener feedback section. Yeah, if you guys shoot competitively, email us your DQs. We'll collect them all and we'll put them all in one show. That would be a fun one.
Shout outs. I have one to Northern Advantage Holsters and the owner, Brandon McQueen. So, holsters for the Phoenix. The only holster that I could find was the Guga Rebus Universal. It works for it's a retention holster like this, not like retention with a strap or something, but it's like a Kydex holster, but it's universal. It's about $200. You can get it at A-Hits in Ontario. And I was looking at that because there was no other option that I knew of, because although this is a CZ75 pattern pistol, brother, it ain't no CZ75. Jeff had a local guy make this holster for me, and that's at Northern Advantage Holsters. The owner's name is Brandon McQueen, so you can check him out at northernadvantage.ca or email brandon@northernadvantage.ca. Obviously, if you send him your gun, he will do a one-off holster for you. So shout out to Jeff Reese at the Calgary Shooting Center and the owners over there for hooking me up with this amazing pistol. And Jeff got that holster made, and I love it. It's Blade Tech pattern, so I'm able to use it on my Sierra Speed C-backs.
Nice.
It gets it down low on the belt like I like it. So it's awesome. So if you need a holster, Northern Advantage. Solely Canadian also was going to hook me up. I asked him to come on the show and stuff, and he was a little too shy to come on the show. But Solely Canadian, also a great place. But obviously right now I got to put my support behind Northern Advantage, because this is a nice holster, and they made one for this. They can make one for your one-off or whatever. So maybe we'll have to get this guy to sponsor one of our sections.
It's all about,
It's all about what, Kelly?
I was just going to say, it's all about you, and
that's all about getting the customer what they ordered. That's
this is true.
About. Yeah. Adriel, do you have any shout outs?
Nope.
All right, Kelly, shout outs.
I do have shout outs. So to Greg and Kelly for coming out to the Dill Family fundraiser, and also to Greg for letting me shoot his new guns. So thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
We have no new Patreonies this week, but we are about to do a Patreon episode with a special guest. So, if you're a Patreonie, stand by for that. You'll get that in the next day or two. If you're not a Patreonie and would like to be a Patreonie, you get to support us in what we love doing, bringing new content to you every week. You will get swag in the mail, and you will get bonus content, which we're currently talking about changing the format to making it more appealing for new Patreonies and keep you, the existing Patreonies, entertained. So to become a Patreonie, go to patreon.com/slamfireradio and sign up today. Calibers are very popular Patreonie pledges. So you could do like 223, 556, 762, 50 BMG, whatever. So, yeah. Until next week, you can also show your support for us by visiting Cabela's through our website. So if you are going to Cabela's, which you probably are, you can get there through us, and when you do, we get a kickback. So please do that. And now, more so than ever, because we have a big fight on our hands again, please join the CCFR. They have an in-house registered lobbyists. They're incredibly active. They're fighting every day for you, not with each other. So join the CCFR and help become part of the solution. Remember, after they take my AR-15, they want your sniper rifle. Then they want your pump action gun. Then they want your lever gun. Mm-hmm. They're not going to stop with the assault rifles. All the other countries where gun bans have gone in have proven that they don't stop with just the semi-autos. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. They give us a home over there where we post the show and have conversations with our listeners. And like us on Facebook. As of today, we're still not ahead of an orphanage or homeless children or even hobos, but we are at 2,214. And likes just make Kelly feel better about herself. So
they do.
There, help Kelly feel good about herself.
Yeah.
And until next week, everybody, see you later.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.